Coming up on City Span, new regulations for short-term rental properties, what you need to know. New leadership in the Savannah Film Office on the heels of a significant anniversary.
Celebrating another milestone, Mounted Patrol turns 25. And preparing for the big one, how our faith-based community can help. Stay tuned, City Span starts right now.
Hello everyone, I'm Margaret Williams.
And I'm Brett Bell.
Welcome to City Span, your source for news and information about Savannah City government.
You know, Margaret, vacation rentals by owner have become hugely popular across the country. Using sites like VRBO, HomeAway, and FlipKey, property owners are renting their houses and condos, often providing a more personal stay for vacationers.
While several communities have policies in place to regulate the practice, vacation rental by owner has gone largely unnoticed in Savannah until recent complaints have brought it to the attention of City Council. Now the city is working to develop a short-term rental ordinance. City Span's Jody Jenkins has more.
This issue is not something that is a one-size-fits-all for our community. It's a very complicated issue with lots of different stakeholders with many different opinions as to how to proceed with regulation of this particular topic.
VRBO, vacation rental by owner, a niche market in Savannah that's gone completely unregulated. But after growing complaints about the practice, the city's trying to step in and get a grip on the situation. In June, the Tourism Office proposed an ordinance attempting to define short-term residential rental properties, and it laid out the things owners would have to do in order to be in compliance.
The new component is the short-term residential rental certificate, and that's where, if I want to go ahead and start having my property be rented out for short-term rentals, that I will have to go through the city doing all of these things, getting a business tax certificate, paying my hotel motel tax, getting the appropriate zoning designation signing off on, and getting that code compliance form signed off on, as well as get a certificate from the city of Savannah that says I am a legitimate short-term residential rental. What the city of Savannah is doing is proposing a text amendment as well as an ordinance to provide a framework for how these properties should be used within the context of our community. So as far as our numbers go, we do not have an accurate picture as to how many of these units are out there. What staff has done is gone online to some websites, vrbo.com, FlipKey, and Airbnb, to determine what the uses are and where they're located. And indeed, when you go to these websites, it's phenomenal the amount of properties that are currently in this type of use that people are taking advantage of.
The proposal came after 6 months of study in collaboration with the fire department, revenue, development services, buildings, tourism, and the Metropolitan Planning Commission, among others. And the Tourism Office gave an in-depth presentation to the City Council of a complex and controversial issue, made all the more difficult by the fact that the rules will be different according to zoning regulations in particular areas.
How do we enforce problems with people that are just basically ignoring where they live and that they're not supposed to be doing this?
What we try to do is work with people to begin with. Most folks did not know that this was a violation of the zoning ordinance. So
it's a situation other cities across the country are having to come to terms with as well, amid the rapidly growing popularity of sites like Airbnb and others, providing low-cost alternatives to traditional forms of lodging. Reporting for City Span, I'm Jody Jenkins.
Last month saw an important anniversary for the city, 20 years since the release of the Academy Award-winning Forrest Gump, shot right here in Savannah. The film helped put Savannah on the map as a viable location for filmmakers and fueled the city's burgeoning tourist trade. It's also led to the establishment of the Film Office, tasked with promoting filmmaking as an economic opportunity while providing production companies the services they needed to get their jobs done.
My name's Forrest Gump. My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
20 years, in hardly the blink of an eye. That's how long it's been since Forrest Gump appeared on movie screens around the world. And a simple man turned sage ran through 40 years of turbulent American history. It made Savannah's reputation even before the book was born the same year. And it led to the establishment of the Film Commission. The next year, it won 6 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. And Tom Hanks took the Oscar for Best Actor.
Tom Hanks in Forrest Gump.
Such a film comes along rarely, and it cemented Savannah a place in film production consciousness that has just kept growing and growing. While films have been made here before, none put the city on the map the way Forrest Gump did.
Well, obviously it's been huge. I mean, certainly there was, filmmaking that happened here before Forrest Gump, but I think Forrest Gump definitely, gives a huge amount of notoriety just because Savannah featured so prominently in the storyline. The movie starts and ends in Savannah, and it's, almost a character in that movie. So films like that, stuff that happened before that, certainly we did have a minor role in, but, Savannah was very visible in that movie, so that certainly was a change. And for it to be such a popular film, I think meant a lot for us. And there has been a lot of development that's come out of that. There's tours, everybody wants to come here and see the bench, and even though it's not there anymore, see the bench and, see the places and take the tour and talk to people. So it's been a big deal. For our office specifically, that was sort of the seed that started us. There were some specific issues that occurred during the filming of that movie. Unfortunately, there were some really smart people at the time who realized the potential that filmmaking could have if it was managed the right way within the city. So that was sort of the seed for the founding of the Film Commission and the Film Office, and we're pretty much here thanks to that.
Since Forrest Gump and its huge impact, the numbers have steadily grown. 2012 was the city's biggest year to date, with an estimated $26 million pumped into the local economy. And though the numbers aren't out yet, 2013 is expected to have been even bigger. In other film news, Will Hammergren, the interim film services director, was named permanently to that position. Hammergren, previously the location specialist for the Film Services Office, said that while there will be improvements to how his office delivers services to clients in the city, there will be no dramatic changes to a recipe that already works for the city's film industry.
Really essentially been functioning in this role for the past 7 or 8 months. So having the official position is, not much of a change in my day-to-day life, but it will allow me to do a few more things. Obviously, the biggest thing, I think, the first thing I'm going to do is make sure we get another person in this office so that we have the manpower to handle requests when we're busy. I've been doing, with the assistance of Andy, pretty much all the work, and it's been a very full plate, so it'll be good to spread that out and get some more boots on the ground. So that's the first thing. Going forward, obviously we're going to keep the train on the rails, but there are some changes I'd like to make. We're definitely going to be looking at what we can do to market the city more through social media, or through traditional, advertising formats as well. We're looking at that. We've got a new website we're getting ready to launch. So a number of things. I don't think policy-wise there's going to be a lot of changes, but we'll certainly be looking at areas where we've been weak and areas where we can improve. And certainly I'll be looking forward to a response from the community about what we can do better.
Another big anniversary is also being observed this summer. It's been 25 years since the founding of the Metro's Mounted Patrol Division. In addition to being devoted public servants, these officers are devoted animal lovers who spend a great deal of time and energy with their horses. It's a demanding discipline, but all that hard work pays off.
These magnificent horses make up the Savannah-Chatham Metro Police Department's Mounted Patrol Unit. They are the most popular and most photographed members of the force. Everyone seems to be drawn to them, no matter what part of town they are riding through.
They're very approachable. The officers on horseback are very approachable. You can get to them, you can talk to them.
Sergeant Gene Lawhorn has been with the Mounted Patrol since its inception 25 years ago.
I guess actually it started getting planned back in 1988. Chief David Gellerly wanted the horses back, and he put people together and started working on it.
The unit started out with 4 teams, now there are 6. Bubba, Bobby, Sherman, Lee, Jackson, and Red. Their riders are fully aware that they steal the show, but the officers love being a member of this tight-knit team. Star Corporal Ann Sosby waited 10 years for a spot to open up.
I'm a little Indiana farm kid, grew up around animals, grew up with horses. Then I just thought, what a cool way to do your job.
The officers trained to control crowds, clear streets, patrol the community. So what does it take to make the cut?
Heart has a lot more to do with it than experience. It's not as easy as it looks. It's hot, it's cold, it's sweaty, it's dirty, it's dusty, it's stinky.
But they wouldn't trade it for anything. They love getting to interact with the public in a way most officers don't get to. And they love this unique approach to crime fighting. When the Mounted Patrol Unit isn't in those high visibility areas like the downtown business district or at the mall parking lot, that doesn't mean they're not out there protecting our community. In fact, they do some of their best crime prevention in residential areas. They are out patrolling the neighborhoods, looking over fences, keeping your home and your property safe when you're not home. For CitySpan, I'm Michelle Gavin.
The Mounted Patrol will hold a 25th anniversary celebration and demonstration July 22nd in the field at Forsyth Park. The event is from 9 to 10 a.m. and the public is encouraged to attend. Coming up on CitySpan, setting your sights on a successful future, the Small Business Assistance Corporation can help.
And later, celebrating summer, park and playground activities heat up.
In times of crisis, we often look to faith-based organizations for guidance and support. In addition, congregations often play an important role in local readiness and recovery, providing shelter and supplies before and after disasters. And even though we're a month into hurricane season, it's never too late to develop a plan and prepare for a disaster. A new program launched by the Georgia Emergency Management Agency in January is aimed at helping houses of worship and faith-based organizations prepare, plan, and stay informed. It's called Praise and Preparedness, and it can help reduce the impact of any large-scale emergency on your organization, your members, and your facility. City of Savannah Emergency Management Director Dan Stowers explains.
We're asking the leaders in the faith-based community to help us get the word out. They have a natural trust, open line of communication with their parishioners and the members of their organization. So if we can go through them and use them as a conduit to get the preparedness message out, that's our first goal. The second goal is what we want to do is we want to bring these houses of worship together with our public safety partners, our folks from law enforcement and fire, and talk about how they can prepare their facilities, not only for the major disasters like hurricanes, but the smaller, more common events such as fires, or even vandalism, acts of violence, or security threats at the church. And then lastly, the third part about this is we want to see how involved the houses of worship want to get in emergency preparedness and response. Maybe these churches would like to sign up and go through training with the American Red Cross and work with SEMA and many of the other organizations that deal with Emergency Support Function 6 or our Mass Care and Human Services. They might want to serve as a point of distribution in a disaster. And then we're adding something new, unique to the program here in Savannah. We have a group called SHARE, and that's the Savannah Historical Emergency Response Group. And they're going to partner with these houses of worship during our meeting in July to talk about how houses of worship, some of these, especially some of them are more older churches and facilities, how they can prepare to protect their historical documents, some of the significant artwork. Sometimes the churches themselves are artwork alone. And so SHARE is going to be there to talk about how they can protect records and steps that they can do to prepare for hurricane season to make sure that the historical and culturally significant documents are protected, either whether it's evacuated with the church members or steps that they can take now to prepare them to withstand a hurricane event.
Savannah Fire and Emergency Services Emergency Management will host a praise and preparedness orientation meeting on Tuesday, July 22nd at 5:30 p.m. in the ballroom of the Savannah Civic Center. Representatives from area churches, mosques, and synagogues are invited. For more information or to RSVP, call Dan Stowers at 652-3812. For general hurricane preparedness information, visit the city's website at savannahga.gov.
The Small Business Assistance Corporation provides business loans, counseling, training, and more to small business owners in Savannah and the Lowcountry. Each month on City Span, we highlight a local business that has benefited from these services. SBAC's Leandria Michael has more.
Dr. Jacqueline Parker is the owner and optometrist at Envision Eye Care. Just as she helps her patients see better, it's her firm vision that lights the path to her success.
My mom and dad taught us values when we were young, and they taught us how to stay focused and to work hard and to persevere. So whatever it is you wanted, I was never told that it was not possible. I always knew I could do whatever I wanted. And so at the age of 6, I wrote this little piece of paper, and it indicated my name as I had seen my pediatrician's name a million times, Dr. J.A. Parker. Of course, I didn't have the Harriet at that time. So I wrote that and carried that with me all through my high school years, and kept saying at the end of high school, I'm going to go to school and I'm going to be a doctor. And lo and behold, after graduating high school, I was accepted and went to school at Mercer University, graduated there, and went on to pursue my career in optometry. So after coming to Savannah, I started out working here with one of the local optometrists, and he had been in private practice for years. And I started out and I stayed there for about a year, and then I went on to work with another company who was also a good anchor in Savannah. It was a company who had multiple offices throughout the city, and so I was able to, or fortunate to work with one of those companies. And I stayed there for maybe about 2-3 years, and at the end of that period I went on and was offered an opportunity to work at Pearl Vision in Savannah Mall, which was actually the first Pearl Vision that Dr. Stanley Pearl ever came up with. So as a great opportunity, I took that offer and I worked there and stayed there for maybe about a year, year and a half. But that was at that turning point in my life where things were starting to migrate and where I wanted to go into private practice. That was always my ultimate goal.
Dr. Parker envisioned her future and utilized the Small Business Assistance Corporation to help make it a reality.
In January of 1999, or maybe around December, I started looking, trying to make this wish and this dream come to pass. And as I was looking for property, I stumbled across a place at Piccadilly Square, right off of Abercorn. And in that location was an office already established, but the prior doctor had closed the business, had gone out of business. And so it was an opportunity of a lifetime.
When Dr. Parker decided it was time to build her own facility, she contacted the Small Business Assistance Corporation.
We came across property here at 321 West Montgomery Crossroad, and it was a house that had been here for a number of years. So we inquired about the property. I was able to acquire the property on my own, and then we started drawing up plans to make the new Envision Eye Care bigger and better than the first one. We practice total medical optometry, state-of-the-art equipment. We try to have the latest technology and what my profession is allowing me to practice. And we provide the excellent service and care our patients are expecting. The SBAC was again extremely helpful in allowing me the opportunity to afford this particular building and have the groundwork and everything done necessary to rise this estate.
If you have your sights set on a new or existing small business, visit the Small Business Resource Center at 111 East Liberty Street, or check us out online at sbacsav.com. Reporting for the Small Business Assistance Corporation, I'm Leandria Michael.
Each month on City Span, we team up with the folks at Bank on Savannah, an initiative of Step Up Savannah, to provide you with easy tips to help you make the most of your money. With more, here's Richard Reeve from the Consumer Credit Counseling Service of Savannah.
Savings accounts are a great place to save for a short-term goal or a rainy day fund, but they don't typically earn much interest. If you've got short to medium-term goals you want to save for, then a certificate of deposit, or a CD, might be right for you. Think of a certificate of deposit as a contract between you and your bank. You promise to keep your cash in the bank for a predetermined period of time. In return for that promise, the bank agrees to pay you more interest than you would get from a savings account. This is called an APY, annual percentage yield. APY is a tool for evaluating how much a deposit earns. It's a standardized way of comparing investments and getting the best bang for your buck. CDs are usually issued by banks or credit unions in the amount of $1,000 or more. Some banks can offer a starting minimum of $100 or $500. CDs are typically offered for 3, 6, 9, 12, 24 or more month periods. Typically, the longer you keep the money in, the higher interest you earn. Because of the time commitments, CDs are sometimes called time deposits. There is often a penalty for withdrawing your money early, so make sure you are willing to tie up your money for the amount of time you choose. Be sure to ask your financial institution questions about early withdrawal penalties. There is no risk of losing your money when you put it into a CD. Your funds are insured by the FDIC up to $100,000 with a bank or covered under NCUA insurance if you're working with a credit union. CDs are among the safest savings products and are a great option to consider for short to medium term savings. Until next month, I'm Richard Reeve, and you can bank on this.
Still to come on City Span, serving Savannah's youth, 47 years and counting.
And later, dumping the pump for a good cause. And the winner is...
Welcome back to City Span. I'm Margaret Williams. Playtime got much easier and a lot more fun last month with the opening of 2 new playgrounds on Savannah's west side.
3, 2, 1,
In separate ceremonies, city and neighborhood leaders cut ribbons to open the new facilities. One, a playground at the Liberty City Community Center, and the other, a new park and playground in the Fowler Park neighborhood.
City Council is making good on our commitment, and because of this, it benefits all of us. By adding more playgrounds, our neighborhoods will be healthier and happier today. And Savannah will be stronger and more resilient tomorrow.
We want to thank the mayor, older persons, the Leisure Services Department, and everyone involved with constructing this equipment out here.
So this is a great day to have a playground that joins our Playful City, which we were on it for the 5th time this year, to give these young kids a place to get started, to be creative, to be active, and it's close to home.
We are mighty, mighty, mighty grateful, and we thank the city alderman and everyone that has brought this to fruition for our neighborhood.
My grandmother used to tell me to go outside and play, and that's just go play. Don't come back until the street light came on. This is yours. It's for you. We're not going to play on it. It is for you. Take care of it, and don't let anybody else come and mess up your stuff. I further promise to take care of it and not let anybody else mess it up.
Mayor Pro Tem Van Johnson had the assembled children make a pledge to take care of the new playgrounds and have more fun outside. The additions bring to 57 the number of playgrounds in the city of Savannah. You can get a complete list of the city's parks and playgrounds by visiting the city's website, savannahga.gov www.cityofsavannah.gov/parks and recreation.
While our parks and playgrounds offer lots of opportunities for residents young and old, the city's Leisure Services Bureau offers a full slate of fun activities targeted mainly for our youth. Everything from arts and crafts to swimming to supervised playground fun to nutritious free lunches. And while summer is in full swing, there's still time to get your kids involved in the fun.
It may look like child's play, but there's a lot of serious fun going on. Summer arts camps have kids wading through everything from ceramics and printmaking, infused glass, to dance, puppetry, and a variety of mixed media.
We currently have our summer art camp taking place. It's open to ages 6 to 12. Skill building, hand-eye coordination, inclusive for keeping your child active and engaged during the summer months.
And the summer rec programs are in full swing as well. Everything from supervised playground activities to swimming and much, much more.
During the summer, we have a lot going on throughout the community, getting ready to gear up for our indoor summer camps, and we'll have those at 14 different locations throughout the community. And basically, they're doing swimming, they're doing activities, they're doing field trips, just really enjoying their summer. In addition to our indoor camps, we'll have our cheerleader camp. We have 2 more sessions of that starting in July. And we have our sports camp at the Blackshear complex. And then we have our therapeutic recreation camps. And we'll have some more sessions going on. We have our outdoor supervised playground programs at 28 different parks. Recreation activities are offered under supervision daily, along with field trips to various museums. And we have a number of the parks have the spray pools, so where we don't have the swimming pools, we have the spray pools.
The summer programs are accompanied by a prepared lunch provided by the Board of Education. Baker estimates that around 120,000 lunches will be served to area children throughout the summer program. And for many of the kids attending, it will be their only well-rounded meal of the day. And finally, in the recreational department, there's a milestone of sorts. For the last 43 years, Joan Quarterman has overseen the activities going on in Hull Park, in the heart of Savannah.
When I started working, I would have never dreamed I'd been working this long here, but I love this job. It saves my life. My husband died 6 years ago. If it wasn't for this job, I don't know. I get up, sometimes I get up in the morning, I think, you feel bad, you think, if I didn't have the park to go to, what would I do? The park helps me. These children help me.
Quarterman said she can't envision ever wanting to leave her job. Reporting for CitySpan, I'm Jody Jenkins.
For more information about summer programs, visit the city's website or call 351-3841 or 651-6417.
And finally on CitySpan, the trusty bicycle held onto its title as the fastest commute to downtown during June's 7th annual Dump the Pump Challenge. Savannah Bicycle Campaign member and defending champion Jen Colstock pedaled across the City Hall finish line around 8:20 a.m., about 20 minutes after she left the 12 Oak Shopping Center south of Durin Avenue. She was followed a few minutes later by Chatham Area Transit Chief Development Officer Raymond Robinson. Robinson rode the Abercorn 14 bus to Ellis Square, where he hopped on a Cat bike share bicycle and coasted across the finish line. And our own Brett Bell drove his personal car to 3rd place, about 8 minutes behind the winner.
What we're really trying to do with this event is show with people biking can be not only a faster but a more enjoyable, less stressful way to get from point A to point B.
We're not just focused on one particular mode to move people around. There are benefits that are, beyond belief as it relates to those that utilize mobility. Where transit goes, community grows.
For some commutes and for some routes, it does make a lot of sense to look at public transportation options or look at biking options.
Dump the Punt is an annual event organized by the American Public Transportation Association that promotes alternative forms of commuting that are cheaper and cleaner for the environment. The latest report showed that a 2-person household that downsizes to 1 car can save on average $10,174 per year.
And this event is good instruction that we do have choices, and sometimes bicycling or riding a cat bus, or blending a cat bus ride with a cat bike ride is a very quick, easy, and convenient way to go, and an excellent choice.
You can find a map of bicycle racks as well as public parking garages by visiting the city's website, savannahga.gov. To learn more about bicycle community, check out bicyclecampaign.org. For more information about Chatham Area Transit, including their bike share program, visit catchacat.org.
You know, I drive my car into work every single day, and I've never really thought about what actually it takes to ride in downtown Savannah. And you know, after you follow all traffic laws and then significantly you have to find a place for parking, it really slows you down to getting to your destination. That's what the key is, finding the parking out there, and it takes you a while to get to the bottom of the garage.
Oh, okay, because I was about to say you can just park in the garage, but you do park in the garage. So getting in the garage and getting up to City Hall allowed them to beat you.
And that cyclist, she kept right up with me, and at the end she could just bike right to City Hall, right to the bike rack, and I had to go underground.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
sad.
know. I think I could beat them.
I feel like I let all motorists down out there.
You did.
Is that a bad thing or no?
No, because we're trying to promote efficiency and being sustainable, and if you can ride your bike, that should be an option for you.
I'm a winner though, Margaret.
I'm going to ride the Truman Parkway and get straight downtown.
We'll try that again next year.
Well, that's going to do it for this edition of City Span.
Don't forget, for the latest news and information about the city of Savannah, keep it tuned to SGTV. Visit our website at savannahga.gov or follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
Until next time, I'm Margaret Williams.
And I'm Brett Bell.
Thanks for watching, and thanks for making Savannah your home.